Yeah, because it's pretty heavy. It's no, the only pressure I have felt is since all of this machine has started and since the posters went out and since I saw the poster. Because before that, during the process of making the movie, there was no pressure, you know, because it's an ensemble movie, it's an ensemble cast, and so I never felt the weight of having to, you know, this is me, I'm carrying, you know, I never cracked under that because I just had this immense support and love and friendship from these people, and it just made it fun.
You seem a little different, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the fact that you just had a child. Congratulations.
Thanks. Do you have kids?
I don't have kids, so I don't know what it's like.
Are you married?
I'm not married.
Oh.
I know. Is that sad?
That's all right. No, it's not at all.
You gave me a...
No, it's not. No, not at all.
Not
I was just
it's
asking. I was just curious.
No, I haven't met the right person yet.
Really? Why not?
I probably look in the wrong places.
Do you? Where?
Gotta
what?
Be, like shady places. I always like the bad guy.
Really?
I like the bad boy, yes.
You
see? And
so you're looking where? Nightclubs? And
yes, no.
Oh,
Come on, give me more credit.
Don't ever meet a president.
I'm not looking at nightclubs,
Okay,
no,
good.
but
As long as it's not a biker.
No. No bikers?
Okay, or an athlete. Do you look at athletes?
No.
Okay,
These
good.
are bad boys.
Yeah, they are bad boys.
Maybe
you're into bad boys.
I know, see. And
Are you?
I need to get out of the bad boy thing.
You are into bad boys.
Are you turning this interview around on me?
Correct.
Heath, don't do that!
There's a character that I thought I'd never get cast in. I thought I'd never have the opportunity to play a character like that because previously people were just looking at me and saying, oh, he's blonde hair, he's got a look, we'll just give him that kid, that golden-haired kid role. And Gregor looked at me and he saw past that. The weather wasn't on our side at any time, of course. So we were always working against the odds. We were working with a film ratio of nothing. It was remarkable. Gregor just pulled out this movie from nowhere. That was fun. That was good because I play a spruik. I play the guy outside the club, and actually I remember we'd set up. We created our own club, our own strip club on the strip there, like in amongst all the other clubs, and I had a few practice runs before we actually rolled the camera. I was just playing around. I got a few people to give me $5 and walk in the door. But then, the other spruiks along the street were giving me hints. Like I'd be standing there and Gregor would yell, okay, camera rolling, and I was standing there with my hands in my pockets, and then the cameras are rolling and you hear this whoosh. I look up and there's this spruik over the road and he says, and so I was like, oh, all right. And I was like, what do I do? He goes, put them on and get back. So I was like, okay. So I put my hands behind my back.
Tired about answering questions.
Are you taking photos on it or recording it? No. Oh, sorry. Am I getting tired of it? No, I'm not. I'm very proud of the movie, and it's very good to be in a movie that's being well received. And so I wouldn't say that I'm tired of being asked questions. No. The last movie I made was a year ago. My life certainly changed from making Brokeback Mountain because I met annoying, right? my life changed certainly from meeting Michelle. And I have a family, a beautiful family, and two beautiful girls thanks to Brokeback Mountain. So it's extraordinary the level in which my life has changed. I don't know. I don't think we went out, certainly not to make a political message. I like the fact that the movie doesn't glorify heroin. I think it shows the result of heroin and its use and how it can destroy situations, love. We met up with a few people. Like there was a gentleman that I spent time with who's has been and still is a junkie. He's been a junkie for like 25 years. And he taught us how to use all the paraphernalia and not on ourselves. He actually had a prosthetic arm originally they were designed for medical use, training nurses and stuff like that, but they had one at this clinic where they teach kids how to actually inject drugs safely. Go figure. And so he taught us how to find the vein and the angle to slip the needle in, and so, and then we just watched him, observed him a lot. Abby and I, we filmed him and we made a little movie, documentary thing that we handed out to the production design team and the art department and Jeffrey Rush and just anyone else who needed to see someone shoot up heroin. I used to be a smoker. I was addicted to nicotine, you know, so I could relate to it on that level, I guess. But it's also like what I was always thinking of, or would think of, is like if you're really, really parched, or if you're really, really thirsty, and you need a drink of water. It's kind of a very similar kind of urge. It's like that instinctual. It's like in your blood. You need it, or else you're gonna die. That's what I've been told. So, I mean, I don't think it changed my view of people who are addicted to drugs. I'm definitely. I feel really sorry for them. It's a deep, dark hole. Yeah, but there's nothing we can really do about it. Unfortunately, it's their battle.
I think I did more crying off camera, you know, like it really, knowing that I had my daughter growing inside, you know, my girl. It was definitely uncomfortable holding a little prosthetic baby and looking at it all bloody, and it wasn't very nice. Well, look, originally after reading the script, it was one of the most beautiful screenplays I'd ever read. And obviously Ang Lee was attached to it, who I thought is a perfect director for this story. It was a story that hadn't been told. Yes. It hadn't made it to screen, and it's really rare to find stories that haven't made it to screen. And it was an important story, you know, and the character that I was having an opportunity to portray was one of such complex, kind of intricate detail that it was all within and hidden, and it had to be kind of very contained and controlled. And look, just I had to. I mean, it's a hard process to completely explain. It's definitely you know, a bit of both. Like Ang, there are two forms of Ang's direction. There's the pre-production, which is Ang's extremely thorough. Like his attention to detail is microscopic, and
Did you rehearse?
Little bits, you know, but it was mainly kind of in private. Like Ang would just take us aside individually and just give us little profound, somewhat poetic statements concerning like his observations of the story and the time and our character. And then we just went away and did our own investigating to kind of create this rich character, if we could. And then that's it. And then by the time we got to shooting, Ang's direction was boiled down to, you know, silence and nods. And he was really just trusting the fact that we'd done our homework, so he could get on with doing his job, you know, direct the film. I play Jimmy. He's a young guy who's he's grown up all his life in the Cross. His mum maybe was a prostitute, say. His father's dead maybe. And basically he's in a world where he believes that this is his only path in life. You know, he's been given this life and this is what he has to do. I suppose it's one of those situations that everyone in life kind of comes upon at an early age. And it's not until he's blind, you can say, until he can see. When he meets a lovely young lady, Alex, and she opens his eyes and lets him see that there's another light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, it's interesting. He never really notices this until he gets himself in the deep end. And he ends up having to rob a bank anyway and get the money back to the bad guys before he can get on with his new life. It's an Australian gangster comedy. You know, it's a very funny film. But then on the other hand, it equally balances itself out. It counterbalances with this like shock value comedy. And there's a lot of drama. It's sad, it's happy, and it resolves itself in the end. It makes you feel like you have seen the end of a movie and it hasn't just cut you short. I think the energy and the feel of the whole thing and where it's shot, you know, in King's Cross and the lights, and it's, as I said before, it's something that we haven't really seen in Australia, is the gangster side of Sydney. You know, like we see it on Godfather. We see them driving around in their Rolls Royces, but we don't see the Australian Godfathers in their stubby shorts and singlets, drinking VBs in their Holdens. I love working with Gregor. I think he's fantastic. He's one of the few directors that I really clicked with. You know, when we're on set, we may finish a take, and if he's not certain about it, he'll stand up and he'll go, and then I'll look over to him, and we won't really exchange any words, but we'll just go, yeah, I know, okay, I know what I'll do. And he says, yeah, great, good, shoot, roll. And so we'll just get on. So we are connected, and we both have the same picture on how the movie's going to be planned out. And I love working with him. I think he's great. I was very excited. You know, I'm a huge fan of Brian Brown. I totally respect him and look up to him. And I was very excited. And he fits so perfectly as Pando. You know, he has that friendly smile, but pinpoint eyes. Yeah, Raw was like a big advertisement for me, you know. The iron was hot in America, so I thought I'd pack up and go over there and strike and give it a go. And after a while, I was there for about 10 months, and it took a while, and it just came through, you know, persistence and picking the right jobs and not going in on everything that I read, you know, just being very careful about it.
I don't know. I mean, I think it was actually, I did a show called Raw for Universal Fox a while back.
It was a series, was it?
Yeah, it was a television series. And I don't know, it was kind of like my ticket over there. It gave me an opportunity to get an agent and stuff like that, and that's usually the hardest thing to get, so...
Yes, and you were over there and you got the agent, which was terrific, and you think, right, Hollywood, here I come, and all of a sudden you found yourself...
My first job's in Sydney. So I came back and did that, and then after that I went straight back to LA and then on to Seattle to shoot 10 Things, which is out now.
Right, yes, well, 10 Things I Hate About You was the movie.
Yeah.
And who's the girl? She's very good
Julia
lead.
Stiles. All right, well, it's an adaptation of Taming of the Shrew. So it's basically there are two sisters. The younger one wants to date, the older one doesn't want to, and the younger one can date when the older one dates. And so they go out and hire me to tame the shrew. Yeah, it's a black comedy set around the gangster life in Sydney and King's Cross. And I play a spruik, you know, the guys who stand outside the strip clubs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard of them.
You've heard? Yeah. And and that's it. And Brian kind of plays, he described his character as the godfather in thongs. Yes, it's called The Patriot.
Yeah.
And it's a revolutionary war. It's basically how America claimed their independence from Britain and became a sole country. And it's a father-son story through the war. And yeah, he plays dad and I play son.
And you're playing the son of Mel. Is he one of your heroes, Mel?
Yeah, he has. I mean, you know, he's an idol to everyone, I think, in the industry, because he's someone who went over there and he opened the door up and he made it possible. He showed us that it was, you know, possible to get an international market. So, yeah, I'm extremely excited. I suppose so, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of, those two things were running as a parallel during my junior years. And
you over that now?
Yeah, it would. I don't know. I mean, they're both dreams I had as a kid, I suppose, but I just chose this avenue. This was the path that I wanted to take in the end. So.
Yeah, well, it's working out so far. It's really, your mum must be very proud. And,
she is, yeah. Hi, Mum, by the way.
She's watching, hopefully, in Perth.
Yeah.
It is, and that's kind of what I love about it at this point. I was after a change, you know. And it's just so quiet. It's real living, you know. I'm lugging my laundry down to the laundromat, and you know, my duties right now is just keeping the house clean, my girlfriend happy.
The paparazzi kind of gives you a hard time?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, look, they're bored, I think. You know, they don't get many people going down to Australia, and so it's you know.
You throw stuff at them, is that true?
Yeah.
I think people are behind you on that. I don't think anyone's complained, but what do you throw?
I've thrown an egg.
You've thrown an egg?
Yeah, not at them, just kind of next to them so it splatters up against them.
You've put a lot of thought into it.
That's how pathetic it is. Like, that's what we were reduced to, you know? Like, you can't actually stand up and slap them. I mean, when they kind of spy in on you and you're trying to, like, bathe out in the sun and you're with your girlfriend or your friends or your family, and they're spying in on you, it actually feels like you're getting a slap across the face.
Right.
And we can't physically stand up and hit them back, of course. It would be rude and against the law.
Right.
So you get an egg and... what does it mean?
I mean, does it get really cold? Are the kangaroos wearing mittens?
Not really. I mean, it was quite confusing growing up. I mean, for example, I mean, Christmas time in Australia, I grew up, you know, around the barbecue, kind of cooking sausages and steaks. In 40-degree heat, sweating, and in flip-flops and shorts and singlets. Singing "Dashing Through the Snow."
Right.
They make this, or they find these. The Aboriginals will walk through in the outback, and they walk up to trees, and this is like the trunk of a tree, and they tap it like this, and they listen to it and listen to the sound, whether or not it's hollow. It's actually termites that kind of bite their way through and clear it up.
They find a piece of wood that's been hollowed out already by a termite.
That's right, and then they cut the tree down and turn it into this. All right, so you got to be really, really quiet.
Okay, here we go.